It's time for Evil Geniuses and Vitality to duke it out.
This is the 5th showing we've seen between Evil Geniuses and Vitality in the history of the RLCS. They played in the Fall Cup closed qualifiers just a few days ago. Evil Geniuses able to get the victory there 3-1. They went 1-1 in the course of RLCS 21-22. The first time they played Dazarin, Season 5 final bracket, Round 1, Evil Geniuses knocked Vitality out. So 2 orgs with a long history in the RLCS, only playing for the 5th time here.
That is true. These teams have a storied history almost in that RLCS season, and we've seen them have really strong rosters, some full of a lot of passion, and this one now with Team Vitality full of a little bit of change. Again, this time we're seeing this new roster really soar to new heights, as the showing from this event has been fantastic. But where does that train stop? How far will they go? And the same question can be asked for this also new Evil Genius team, as they're all racing Tundra and Rizex as well, but already off to a hot start. You see Catalysm putting on that first shot, forcing Alpha to make it clear.
See Ivan loft the ball out of his back third there. We've got Evil Geniuses in the blue, Vitality in orange. Tox taking the shot to the edge. Will be just wide of the goal. Sizen coming out of his own half. Gets met with a challenge now. Rodosin onto the backboard. Nobody home in goal here. Ivan comes crossing out of the corner to make the first stop. We'll stay scoreless here. Ball neutral at midfield.
Yeah, that was really good for Ivan. That was a dive of a save, but he's got a little bit more work to do here. You see Rodosin forcing Catalysm to make a save there. Again, that individual performance here from Vitality. If you see them with boost and a free ball to do whatever they want to in the air, you got to be a little worried. Rodosin, one of those players who can take things down, but he was looking for a size in there in the midfield. Cut off. EG, though, their defense is definitely very solid. I've seen them have really strong defensive stints. The question is, are they going to be able to replicate that and also play offense against this high-powered Vitality offense team? Right now, both teams with 2 shots apiece as this game continues on.
Relatively quiet first half here. About 2 minutes in. Alpha now off the wall. A little bit of control, possibly gives it up to look for the bumps. Doesn't find anything in Catalysm. Will dribble it out of his half. High in the air, Ivan's got control. Reaches back for the second touch there. Past one, runs into Alpha on the goal line. Follow-up, though, is good. Tox will put EG on the board.
I love this, though, from Ivan. It's the carry. Getting it past Size, forcing Alpha to get a touch out, and you can see it almost. That's just such a frustrating touch to make. Right off the bar, it's a free net, and Tox, he'll just get credit for an easy tap-in goal.
I mean, Alpha, I feel like, was good to get the block on the first shot. Such an aggressive beginning of the offense, and then the follow-ups there from Tox as well. Alpha, good job. You tried your best. Not going to be able to block 2 there. Size known to Rodosin now as they're looking for the tying touch here. Ivan over the top of 1. Alpha now locked into the sky. Full tank of boost, but bumped off the ball. Catalysm will close in on it. Try to take over.
That's still very important to be able to get that bump. Again, denying comfortability from Alpha. Again, he gets crossed up. He's chopping up the defense, Ivan. Very solid so far. Can Tox get around to this? No. Defense comes back in time to get the denial. But man, even then, still, that comfortability is not really so visual here for Vitality. They've, on the other side of things, it's looking a little scrappy, and EG is totally okay with playing with this style. They're trying to build up off that momentum from the first goal.
Oh, here comes Sizen looking to try and tie things up, but runs into Ivan on the goal line. Catalysm now on the transition. Past 1, runs into Alpha high on the read. Tox able to dodge the demo and stay behind the ball to neutralize it at midfield, but wasn't able to get back to that one in time and push forward. I agree with you, though. Evil Geniuses looking wonderfully creative in their scrappy play on offense, going like, I'm going to go for this weird touch. Maybe it'll work out, and it did multiple times. They just fell apart at the goal line. The final touch to put it in the net, not quite there. And Vitality, that's the last place you want to be defending. If you're having to stop it right before the goal happens, you're leaving yourself no room for error.
Yeah. A little concern, though, looking at Alpha. I mean, he's definitely has some solid defensive stops and he's made some great saves, but in terms of him not being able to really do what he wants to on offense, I mean, even now, like, he's trying to dive for the ball, but Size is so much closer. He just hasn't really been able to get those offensive set pieces like he wants to as that one rolls past the goal line. You really wonder once he gets control of the ball, if he can create some play opportunities, he's got a minute left, and so does Team Vitality if they want to get back in. Oh, yes, he connects. He scores, and Vitality on the board.
You were asking for it here. Want to see Alpha up in kind of the second role here. Look for him to be the player to put it away. Sizen setting up Alpha here instead of the other way around to tie the game. 57 seconds left. Vitality has made it even. Game 1 still anything but excited.
Now things kind of slow down, and for EG, that stop really kind of kills some of that momentum they were building. They've got to play this game very smartly, because now with Vitality getting things running on all cylinders, they're gonna try to hit them hard.
Get through one, but Alpha's there now. Catalysm. 30 seconds remaining. Runs into Radosin. Ivan finds a stop. Touches wide, and Catalysm falling back, going to be the first line of defense here. He's on the backboard, struggling to find the position he needs. Luckily, Ivan able to move in on the goal line and cover up the hole that was left. And then a rolling clear by a little bit of time, but final 10 inbound here. Anyone's game, setting the tone in the match here in game number 1. So huge for either team. Neither one with a better hold on it. Here comes Radosin with an open net to shoot at. He'll put it through with 2 seconds left. The front line paved the way for him, and they've got it all but locked up.
Oh, and the front line, you talk about paving the way. They push through the defense. Radosin gets a lane, and he picks the shot. Ivan also almost guessed where it was going to go, but just didn't have the reactions to stop such a high-powered shot. 2 seconds left, and Vitality will take game 1. They steal it away from EG.
It was, man, they almost made it to overtime there, but this one really felt like a coin flip to me, Daz. Like, both teams so strong on both sides. We saw great defensive stands. We saw great offensive drives. Ultimately, Vitality able to eke out an extra point right before the end of time to get that important first game win.
Yeah, I mean, EG scores that first goal just under the 3-minute mark. And for the next couple of minutes, it's just EG warding off Vitality. You know, they stick to that defensive end and they play it really well. But again, once Alpha got going on that offense, like I said, that's when Vitality as a whole just started to look so much stronger. And after they got that equalizer, it really just felt like they had everything going their way.
Yeah, no, Alpha is such a strong player on all parts of the pitch. So seeing him make the setups, the clear game to prepare for the rest of his team is wonderful. He's going to excel at that role, but it's just not where, as a Vitality fan, you want to see Alpha fitting into the offensive rotation. You want to see him receiving the passes upfield as that highlight star-studded player we all have come to know him to be. So we'll see if they can continue to put him upfield there, prepare him. Does Vitality start to walk away with the series, or can Evil Geniuses bounce back? See them here defending in their own third. You see both Evil Geniuses decals demonstrated on Ivan and Catalysm's cars, respectively. A crazy variety. Get those sports up. And they need a goal over here. Let's go. Oh, no! Tox blocks the shot. Oh, that's tragic.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. And it almost ends up going the other way. And with the carefully thought out play there from EG, they were almost over the finish line, but unfortunately they trip over each other's shoes.
Oh, the hard part about being up in the first man and then having to like rotate through net, you do for a moment, ever so slightly, at the smallest moment, become a defender. If your teammate's just unlucky enough to shoot it straight at you. Ivan, does he get up in time for this? No. The pace of the shot too much. Vitality strike first.
Just so much space here. Ball goes out. You can see Catalysm just trying to recover that. Sizen knows he's awkward. And again, Ivan, it's that same shot that was scored on him by Radosin to end game 1. I mean, that's just a spot right now for Vitality. 2 back-to-back goals there.
He's right in front of the box. Places the ball top bar at 111 kilometers an hour. Pretty much unsavable. Gotta have the most lightning reflexes to reach out in time. Here's an infield pass to Alpha indeed. Places it top bar again. 2-0 now, Vitality.
I'm loving that location of the placement, Wave. I'm not gonna lie. It just works for them every single time. This time, Tox was playing it high, but kind of expected that ball to go more middle of the net, and you can just see it soaring right over his head. That's gotta be frustrating.
Infield passes. you have, as the shooter, you have so little time to kind of size up your shot. It makes sense. Like if I'm the defender there, I'm also defending the middle of the net. That makes the most sense that that's where Alpha's going to place it. But he's just that good, Daz. Able to put it top bar. Didn't even touch it. Not crossbar down. Sneak it under. Brilliantly placed. Vitality firmly in control of game 2 and the series right now.
I mean, when we look at EG, though, in game 1, it really felt like their kind of plan was kind of get in front of Alpha, slow him down. That was a crazy redirect from Tox. Ivan will try to keep this in the play, but they were so aggressive, especially Ivan, too. I mean, he was all over the ball in midfield. He was running it around past everybody on Vitality, but it seems like that's kind of gotten lost in all the translations from EG. You know, they've been busy just trying to stop and block all these shots that they kind of have lost control of being able to dictate the pace. That time, though, Ivan had a really good setup there and really had to force Alpha 54 to get on the ground. This time, no one will be able to stop him here as he does get the ball into the back wall. Vitality trying to extend their lead. We're halfway through game 2. They're up by 2.
Sizen coming from the midfield, leaping to block the shooter who's dribbling the ball on the top of the corner at midfield. Like, he had to stretch so far, not out of rotation necessarily, but definitely a spot where lesser players would just turn around and say, hey, third man, can you please come in and collect this? And manage to make enough of a block. Vitality feeling strong right now. Sizen blocks the past 2 defenders. Free ball here for Radosin. Can place it anywhere he wants, and Catalysm will get there. Radosin not able to put enough pace on the ball to outstretch the defender there. But Vitality nearly up by 3 here in game 2. They'll find the blocks on the counterattack.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they didn't come away with that one. It looked like that when Sizen goes up for that, he's going up knowing Radosin can get a play on it, and he's not just putting it in the empty space and blocking his teammate's shot. They bait out 2. It almost worked there. Yeah. It was just that final shot, not really the best place, but just straight into Catalysm. Yeah. But very interesting to see Vitality mix it up like that.
Catalysm literally just puts a hand up and they put it straight into his hand. Radosin to Sizen. Again, lofted in the corner, but Ivan's got it covered. See Alpha move in from the third man, keep the ball buried in Evil Genius's back third. Ball hasn't crossed the midfield line here for a good 30 seconds or so. This is bad news for Evil Geniuses. They've shown that they have what it takes on defense to stop the majority of what Vitality brings at them, but here again, struggling just to keep the ball out of the back third and trailing by 2. You've got to find a way to get on offense. Finally, they will cross the midfield line.
And what can Tox create? That's a good chance. Alpha's forced up this time, able to recover, and then the Sizen into Alpha, the pinch out to try to gain some space. As there's a race here, Radosin last bag, dodges Ivan against the ball. That's such an excellent touch. Chance for another goal. Alpha, no, too high. This time it's over the bar. And it'll be 2-goal game. They're still trying to extend that lead and run out the clock. Final 30 seconds left. Vitality in full control.
They make it look so easy, just sneaking it under the crossbar. You start to watch them, start to think it's automatic, but it is so difficult to place the ball just under the crossbar repeatedly, consistently there as Alpha put it just a little bit high on what would have been the game clinching goal here. Might be enough anyways, though. One last drive here. They need to score on this next touch. And Catalysm going to put it high, not able to put it towards the goal. Clock will expire. 2-0 lead. Going to be insurmountable here. Vitality going to take a 2-game lead over Evil Geniuses.
I can see on the cams that save. Just trying to get a little old goal action in. And yep, as I probably would say expected, EG, they come up really empty here on this game. And with that, they take a tactical timeout. I mean, Vitality was just running around on the blue half that entire game, just putting on shots. Alpha himself had 5 shots alone. He was matched up with Catalysm, but with Sizen and Radosin also putting on 3 apiece. I mean, that control of the game flow. Vitality right now completely in the driver's seat here. And for Evil Geniuses, they need a roadblock. They need to be able to kind of slow them down any way they can. This time out to kind of talk things over, find a new approach is a big deal.
I mean, what is the adjustment here for Evil Geniuses? I mean, obviously Alpha has been a problem, but at this point, I mean, we saw both Alpha and Sizen with excellently placed shots. The only player that we saw have a good opportunity to score and kind of not make it work was Radosin, and that was one instance. It's not enough for me to look at it and be like, oh, we should stop thinking of Radosin as a threat. I think you got to think of everyone here on Vitality as a threat. but getting out of their half, I mean, my first thought, Daz, I don't know what your thought is to go to like first touch quality. They need to, once when the ball is being hit to them, they have to find a way to save and clear, not just save or just clear. When they're giving kind of that second window of opportunity of, okay, we stopped your first shot, but we haven't got it out of our box. Vitality is closing in on that over and over again. If they're able to save and get the ball out of their half and within the same touch, they're going to buy themselves a lot more space.
Yeah, you can even see the coach in the background chatting. I think for me, you definitely have a great point in that first touch, and that helps because for what I was going to say was that possession being very important, being able to get that follow-up touch off of the initial one, being able to kind of bring the ball out, but also get yourself that extended pressure. Don't force yourself into these tough spots on defense because you end up giving the ball to Vitality. And again, that mechanics can be used to just pick apart defenses so much. If one player can force two up, that's a problem. And we see it even in that final play there where we thought a goal was kind of coming through. Those double commits not doing any favors here for EG. They've had to come together cohesively if they want things to work out.
Yeah, the pace that Vitality's been attacking with. I mean, again, we saw that infield pass play. The first goal as well, just a one-touch wonder of a shot. Simple, but very effective. That sort of speed is going to force double commits out of a team that doesn't have their rotations perfectly organized. It's gonna be difficult. Here is a nice flick from Catalysm just high. Love the setup there. They're trying to strike early here in game 3, but still no goal.
Just a great drive there. And that's there you go. You see it. Catalysm keeps the ball close, lead block. It's just that finish needs to be there. That would have been a great way to come out of a timeout for EG, but this time Vitality get a chance to strike back, and they're trying to break apart that defense. Ivan will clear it into some space, and Catalysm will get some extra breathing room.
And they don't get punished for it, but on the counterattack after that opening drive, another double commit on the goal line from Evil Geniuses. Giving openings like that to a team that's already playing as hot as Vitality is going to make it very difficult to win this series. As Alpha, what a way to get back to the wall and then back to the ball. The recovery on this man is incredible. Catalysm gets bumped. Might be able to keep himself in the play here. Nearly tried to. Appreciate the effort. Now Alpha up against Tox. Now out to Radosin. Placed well on this one, but Ivan had it read a mile away. Gets up in time, makes the stop. Will stay scoreless.
Here's Catalysm. Bring this out into space. Great 50. Ivan drives in front to try to get someone jumping inside. Whoa!
Wow.
Ball over halfway in, and Sizen, who looks super uncomfortable, is able to recover and make the stop.
And a double commit on the other side. This time Ivan's going to have a completely open net. Evil Geniuses find a double commit out of Vitality, and they'll take the lead.
This one, you see, it's that touch from Tox there, but you have two on the back wall. Someone needs to be on the ground there. We talk about communication issues with EG, but you start to see some there from Vitality, and EG take full advantage.
I'm still thinking about that Sizen, like, jackhammer save. I don't know what to call it there. Like, just like the full boost and straight into the corner. He was getting zoned by Ivan before that, too. It's just what made him so uncomfortable. But on the other side, they say, hey, stop thinking about our failed defensive attempts here. Alpha's back in the scoring booth.
Look at him call up. Yep, calls him off, sets himself up, says, I got it, and knocks it in. Great angle from Alpha. And when he's on like that, yeah, let him have the ball. He's doing good work.
Oh, close one there. Radosin able to dodge the demo bump. Keep that from immediately dropping, but Alpha having a wonderful day. Radosin in the corner up against Catalysm, very neutral. Gonna go for a second challenge here. He actually backs out and gives it to Sizen. And Catalysm wins the challenge again and then pinches kind of inadvertently with Tox. Now Radosin dodging one. Half a tank of boost to work with here. Sizen in the midfield. Looks for the flip reset. Maybe got it. Tries to use it there at the end. Alpha. Try and come in. Sizen just drove straight up the middle of the field and basically just turned back around. After not receiving the ball. Oh, and a flip from Tox to give Alpha a little bit of space here. Awkward recovery, but still manages to win the challenge. Now 1v1 up against Ivan. Goes for the bump, gives it to Sizen, and Tox comes in from behind to make the save and keep us tied up. Radosin trying to put the nail in it here, but still not able to get through the defense. Evil Genius is starting to find some creativity on defense.
Love that, though, from them. When the Vitality try to mix it up, EG able to match that, and then also they get there in time, and they're quick to try to jump on one of these counters, too. Catalysm! No! Sizen again. Another great save from him. It just feels like he individually is a wall that has been keeping Vitality in this game. Here comes a pass play. Ivan to Tox. Tox played off that back wall. Not necessarily the best touch there. And Catalyst will try to do it all himself for a moment.
It was rough for Tox. He goes up trying to redirect the ball, but actually ends up in a spot where he really can't put it on net. Just has to try and play for the third man to come in. But yeah, Sizen in goal. That long card, the Dominus starting to become a thing of the past, it feels like. I'm seeing fewer and fewer Dominuses in RLCS, but making a difference there on the goal line time and time again.
Yeah, those Dominus players, they can't let them die out yet. I know Achieves definitely is keeping track of all of them. Himself being a Dominus main, but Sizen uses it really well.
He is incredible here. Hashtag save the Dominuses, chat. Here comes Alpha. Radosin on an aggressive challenge. We'll lose, and here's Sizen out of the midfield. Tied up as we go into the final minute. Tox now. Lofted it for the long-range reposition. Ivan's going to try and take control here. Radosin's going to let him get 2 touches out of it, but pick up second touch on him. No. Now this pitch goes straight to Catalysm. Double commit on the goal line. Kind of had to. Really no other option. And now Alpha, though, emerging with control. Managing to win a challenge and get a demolition out of it. In front of the goal. Sizen's going to put it in with the butt of the Dominus for the lead. 34 seconds left.
Look at this play out. I mean, great 50 from Alpha. A little confusion. Tox trying to go off the top of the goal there. And Sizen just is going to bear straight down. You have to get a solid read there if you're Tox. And that could be the one that decides this game. EG have to race against the clock as you see 30 seconds on your screen.
Trying to pass to Tox here. Alpha gets up and covers. Hold on to control for now. Looking for the ground pinch. Just gets a ground roll out of it. Catalysm now. 20 seconds left. Runs into Radosin immediately. Back into the corner. Evil Genius is in the exact same spot they were at the end of game 2. Struggling to get the ball out of their back third. Final 10. Sizen off the backboard. Alpha into the crossbar. Tox away. But Sizen's right there. Couldn't put it on target. Alpha's still in the area to make trouble, to create chaos. The clock has expired, and he's going to put it into the ground. Vitality, 3 up, 3 down, 1 away from the sweep.
They just swarm EG towards the end of that game. You see that breakdown there. Unfortunate positioning from Tox that gives Vitality that lead. And as the clock takes down for the last 30 seconds, it's just attack, attack, attack from Vitality, not letting EG get to the midfield at all as they just keep them really stuck into their goal line. But EG had so many good shot opportunities. The drives were there. The only thing was they had to go up against Sizen, who was there saving their best drives yet. If Sizen's not in the net on some of those, I think EG probably could have even walked away with this game.
Sizen here, it was 472 personal score to 471 over his teammate. I didn't catch which teammate it was. I think it was Alpha. Literally 1 personal score gave him the MVP there, but that does not tell the story. He was absolutely the MVP. The touches he made, huge on that one, on both offense and defense, scoring the go-ahead goal, blocking 2 amazing drives there from Evil Geniuses. And now, Evil Geniuses, with their backs against the wall, they must reverse sweep to continue here in the playoff bracket. Vitality with so many opportunities in front of them.
Question is, can EG get it together? Vitality are just playing their game. They seem comfortable, confident, and in control. For EG, it feels like the opposite. A little disoriented, trying to recover, and really trying to find that offensive success. Once they're in that box, the drives that they work so hard to create kind of fall apart right in front of them. And then they have to hold off that counterattack from Vitality that just seems sharp as a knife.
Vitality, man. What a storied organization in Rocket League. And it's special to me to see them playing with this level of confidence again. Back in the top 8. But Evil Genius is also the story of their own. A big part of the story for me with Evil Geniuses is the spoiler, the wild card. They take other team seasons and destroy them. They give them the one loss that they couldn't handle. Season 5, Evil Geniuses versus Vitality, round 1 lower bracket in game 5. Evil Geniuses knocked Vitality out of the Season 5 World Championship. And it's just, there hasn't for Evil Geniuses ever been that moment of excellence in Rocket League of here's our huge win, but they have ruined those moments for so many other teams. And what a moment it would be here if they were able to do it to Vitality. Sizen looking for Ivan, not going to find him. Now Alpha pass across the field. Sizen's backing off, but makes the quick turn on it. Already beaten the air by Catalysm, though. Redosin just lost the ball at midfield, and Sizen demolished. Will make an easy choice for Alpha here. He's going to loft, take the ball into the backboard, look for a clear.
EG, you know, I tried to say this a little bit on the pre-show, that them having kind of slow starts here, we saw it yesterday when they played against Tundra in round 1. And it seemed a little bit like that, but hold on, Catalysm
that should be a goal.
getting a little cataclysmic with a couple demos, but it doesn't even matter. Tox can't put the ball into the back of the net. It was a tough angle. And even though, they, like I said, they get these drives, Wave, where it looks so promising. They need the final shot to go through. All of Vitality jumping on that one to make the save out. Ivan has a little bit of control. To Tox, finally they find the back of the net. EG scores first in game 4.
This felt inevitable. I mean, with just how much dominating pressure they were putting on in this drive. If they didn't emerge with a goal, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If they hadn't scored on that drive right there, to me, that's the end of the series. It doesn't even matter that Vitality hasn't scored. If you couldn't score on that one, it's over. But they do. They managed to put it in the back of the net. The hope stays alive. And now, a 1-goal lead with half the game to go here in game 4.
It's so promising. You see that consistent pressure come out. And that lets you know, and that lets the players know as well, okay, we can get this team jumping. We can get that whole net jumping. But hold on. Somebody else needs to jump. Redosin sent it to the top left corner.
Finally, the one player we hadn't seen really pop off on the offense here. 114 kilometers an hour back. Ivan, the moment the touch happens, Ivan knows, well, cool. I hope that's not in because there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, you're right. There was nothing he could do about it for sure. Vitality strike back rather quickly. And Alpha looking for a double. Cataclysm says not today. Size in midfield. Vitality coming out here. They're throwing some punches back at EG. And EG have to play through that as Tox gets through Redosin and wants to put a shot on. Ivan gets Sizen in the air, but do they see Tox? Oh, what a read on that one, being able to recover and get the block.
He is so good. Sizen is having a career series right now. The space left for Alpha. Oh, the Redosin was set up for the redirected net, but covered up by the goalie. Now Catalysm out of the corner. 125 on the clock in a tie game. Must-win situation for Evil Geniuses through 1. Tox advancing on offense, puts it back into the box, and the bumps. Oh, Sizen still gets back. Nothing gets past this man.
You need to demo him because the little bump's not working. Every single time he's had anybody try to disrupt him, he still gets to save. The ball's been halfway in the net. He puts it in the net. Oh, Sizen doing it all for Vitality.
Size him up, folks. He's an extra large in every stat right now. Look at this man go. He's giving them the go-ahead goal. Hold it on, and they'll get the sweep on Evil Geniuses. We were talking so much about Alpha at the beginning of the series, and we got duped. It's Sizen you got to look out for right now.
Absolutely. All over the field. What a performance. Of course, he hasn't been doing it alone. Redosin and Alpha have been there every step of the way. And EG, Vitality, is a problem to you that it seems like even the evilest of geniuses can't solve.
You need a bigger brain, apparently. 5 head wasn't enough. Sizen, midfield 30 seconds. 1-goal game. Very doable. The scoreline is still a threat. Vitality has to play perfect Rocket League to secure up this series, but they're doing it right now. And the final minute, the final seconds have belonged to Vitality every single game. The ball has yet to be in a tieable situation as the clock expires. Here's the best look it's had yet, but still to block at the goal line. 5 seconds left as Catalysm takes it to the backboard. Ivan in front for 3, but pinched away. The clock has expired. Tox manages to keep it alive. Sizen up on top of him, and he'll kill it. Vitality, 4 up, 4 down, a sweep on Evil Geniuses.